Alright, so this is just a quick tutorial on how to convert between moles to particles and particles to moles, going both ways, okay? So the first thing we need to make sure we know is Avogadro's number, which is that 1 mole is equal to 6.02 times 10, to the 23rd atoms, molecules, particles. So basically just saying the same way we could have a dozen donuts, a dozen cookies, a dozen anything. We can have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms, molecules, particles. It's just defining a very big number for things that are very small. So if we want to go from moles to particles, it's just a standard straight conversion. So let's say we have 3 moles of some substance, okay, whatever the substance is, doesn't really matter. We have 3 moles of some substance, and we want to figure out how many atoms are in that substance. Then we are going to multiply by our conversion rate, okay? The important thing, though, is making sure we put the correct units on top and the correct units on bottom, okay? So one of these has to go on top, one of these has to go on bottom. Whatever unit we have from our given, that is always the unit that we want to put on the bottom. So if we're in moles, that means we're going to put moles on the bottom, because anything divided by itself cancels out to just 1. It goes away. So mole, I don't know if you can see that, mole divided by mole equals 1, and 1 no longer affects our equation, so it cancels out. And then the only thing left to do is put 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd on top, okay, and we can say atoms, and now we just multiply across the top. We do 3 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Again, is a huge number, but it has to be because we're looking at things that are incredibly small. So when we multiply, we want to see if you can see that. We want to use the E symbol here because that means times 10 to the. So we do 3 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. And we end up with 1.81 times 10 to the 24th atoms. Okay? And we want to make sure we include our units. Units, units. Right now, this is the easy stuff when units aren't as important, but when we get to the next part of converting between these, and we're going to be converting between substances, if we're not keeping track of what substance we're in, then we're going to get very confused and make a lot of mistakes. Okay? That's one. Now we can go the other way as well, which essentially functions the same. We just kind of work backwards. We do the opposite operation. So let's say that we have 4.75 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. Okay, 4.75 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. I arbitrarily picked this number. It's just a given, right? Like saying how many dozen is 56 donuts. It's just a given. It's just some arbitrary number that we're solving for. Okay, same idea here. We want to put our opposite units on the bottom, and we're trying to convert into moles. So moles are going to go on top. And then our opposite unit of atoms, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, Avogadro's number, are going to go on the bottom. Okay, so now before we do anything, we can check to make sure that our units cancel. Atoms cancel with atoms. We're left with just moles, and that's what we want. We want to see how many moles are in 4.75 times 10 to the 23rd atoms. Okay, so I go to my calculator, and I do 4.75 e to the 23 divided by 6.02 e to the 23. Oh, there's Mr. Foy. All right. So for our answer in this case, we get 0.789-ish in moles. Okay, so we have 0.789, about 0.8 of a mole, okay, or about 4/5. All right, so that's how you convert back and forth between moles and particles.